Well, hello everyone, and welcome to League Review. I'm your host, William, and we kind of forgot to do a podcast yesterday. I won't lie. We were playing League with a bunch of friends, and all of a sudden it hit midnight, and I'm like, oh, it's already midnight. We gotta go to bed. Like, it's World's time, because a lot of updates since last time we were on. We have our group stage, we have everything else. I have my picks here. Unfortunately, I went 3-3. If you guys missed, I had also a very spicy pick, just like Spawn. I had Isurus Gaming actually taking first in the group over Splice. After they had played against DFM, I'm like, can I take that back? Even though they beat DFM, I'm like, they did not look like anything like the Isurus team that I saw previously, and I had rated semi-highly. Do I still have my notes here? No, this is not my note. Is this my note? Yeah, okay. So I had Isurus, to be fair, at 21st out of 24 teams, and I have Splice as the 14th team, but Damn, I thought Isurus had the perfect playstyle to counter Splice. They're really aggressive. They're usually not nervous at all, but they played insanely nervous. So I'll type the power rankings out here while we're going over other stuff. But power rankings pre-worlds over here for the actual rankings that I had. I had originally number one. I'll keep these the same. I won't update these, obviously, but first I had Fun Plus Phoenix as the best team going to Worlds. I had G2 as number 2, SKT number 4, RNG number or SKT number 3, RNG number 4, which a lot of people don't have him that high, but I really believe in Xiaohu's ability to step up. I think that's what RNG's been missing at Worlds constantly, with just having Uzi carry them. I think with Xiaohu stepping up this split and then having Longshu instead of not having Amazing J, basically, and then a lineup like they did in spring, that it's been it's a much more complete RNG team. I had Fnatic as the number 5 team, and I will also rank them as S tier down the line. So S tier is the teams on the previous podcast that I think the only option for Worlds is to win Worlds. That's their only do or die. If they don't win Worlds, it's considered a failure at this competition. Number 6, I had IG, because unlike a lot of people are writing off IG like a lot, I've noticed, and I disagree. Like, I know they had a very rough summer split, and that they bombed out of MSI against Team Liquid, but man, the amount of people considering Team Liquid has a free group is insane. Is this new as in the power rankings, Idol? Hi, by the way. It was fun talking to you during the games today, and I wanted to take my Isurus gaming pick back, but I can't because Idol will call me out on it because I messaged him. I was like, when they were playing against DFM so badly, I'm like, should have kept that Isurus thing to myself and pretended it never happened. But unfortunately, no. These power rankings are kind of similar to the ones I did like 2 weeks ago. I'm just trying to write them down so people can see if they tune in, just to have like a list right there. And then after that, we will go over the 6 games that went on, and then we will make predictions on stream this time and get those done as well. But yeah, I think IG is very strong. I think that they're. By the way, sorry if I keep my wrist is like messing up, so it's all cracking, and it's a problem. But anyway, yeah, I think IG people are highly underrating them. Griffin is my. And actually, no, this is an update one. I did not update this one since they lost their head coach. I'm gonna move Team Liquid up to 7 and Griffin up to number 8. I know that the coach has been a problem at Griffin, to be fair, with some of their drafting, but I still feel like they are strong enough they're still strong enough for a top 8 team, but I'm actually going to put Team Liquid ahead of them now. I think that they were really close neck and neck, and I think that Team Liquid is just these. I trust Team Liquid more in a best of 5 than I do Griffin, personally. There's 5 starting players on IG. Oh shit, I don't know the jungler's name off the top of my head, but obviously you got the Shy, Rookie, Balan, and Jackie Love. For the 4, I can't name the jungler off the top of my head. that is the scary part of IG is how well will their jungler match up at Worlds. He played okay at I know they have Ning as the backup now, but I feel like if he starts out shaky, you're gonna throw Ning in to right away. I think you give the jungler no more than 2 losses on IG before Ning gets put in. Here we go. We'll pull up the Lian. Lian. There we go. I knew that actually. I just could not panic, man. I panic under pressure. Damwon, I know Idol. I know you have $150 on the line, including Brian and Ryan as well. I bet you guys all last podcast $150 for nothing. I don't win anything except pride in Damwon. In Idol's prediction that Damwon was not going to make it out of play-ins first round. He had them going in 3rd place in the first round. Now they are facing Royal Youth, one of the hardest. I actually have them as the hardest team in the play-ins out of the wildcard regions. And then Flamingo. Not so much as you'll. But Flamingo has confidence, which I personally love. I love seeing teams absolutely have confidence like that. Yeah, Ning went from MVP of Worlds last year to backup. It's crazy. But I guarantee this is Worlds. It's a whole different beast. I know they have like differences with Ning, and Ning's been a little bit like toxic. I've heard in the locker room type situation, but I really think that if it comes down and Team Liquid beats IG right out the gate, and say Damwon beats IG right out the gate as well, and IG's all of a sudden 2-0, and assuming Damwon's in my group because I just know the luck on for my team is just 0. But if they both beat IG right out the gate and they start 0-2, Ning's coming in for the rest of the series or for the rest of the groups. I guarantee it. Absolutely guarantee that. C9, I had A tier, by the way, were teams that need to make at least semifinals to not have a failure every year. B tier was teams that just need to make it to quarters or get out of groups. I had C9 at number 10. JT, people are, I mean, I'll be honest, the Fun Plus Phoenix group is not, it's very easy. It's the easiest group by far. That is fair. But people are throwing J-Team and Gigabyte Marines quite a lot of disrespect, I think, in my opinion. They are teams that are about Cloud9's level. So if you considered Cloud9 in the group of death, which I do, with G2, Griffin, and Cloud9, J-Team and GAM are kind of close to that. I think the issue is that you don't have another top 8 team, per se, in your group with Fun Plus Phoenix. Usually, hypothetically, if you have 4 groups, you want each group to have 2 top 8 teams. Unfortunately, if you see Group C had 3 top 5 teams for me. That group is insanely hard. Like, there's no... That has to be the hardest group of all time, in my opinion. But, yeah, I think J-Team and GAM are very good teams, and I'm really excited to see how they'll do competing against each other because I think they're really close. I can't wait to see Fofo at the main stage, and, of course, seeing Levi back is so much fun. Quickly through, I want to, like, D-rank these guys, but I have Clutch at 13. I'll explain when I get down there. Clutch at 13, Splyce at 14. I wish I could redo that, but this is the pre-Worlds one. These were all done before the games today. These were done like a week ago. Royal Youth, I actually have as the 15th best team in this tournament. I have them as the highest ranking wildcard region team. I think that they are insanely good. Their weakness is their mid lane, but the rest of the team with Pilot on ADC, oh my god, like this team is legit. They're in a tough group. They're not legit enough to take down Damwon. This was best case scenario for Idol because if you're gonna get a team for Damwon, obviously take the best play-in team, which is great. But then Flamingo kind of so on there. But yeah, I think they're very good. I don't think they're good enough to beat Damwon. They're in an unfair position there, but they should absolutely be getting a 2nd seed. And I believe either Royal Youth or Unicorns of Love, I said this on the last podcast, are going to make it into group stage. I think that there is a very good shot that these teams upset either anyone from Group C, possibly upset Splyce or Clutch as well. All three of those are very, very vulnerable regions compared to normal, in my opinion, with how good Unicorns of Love and Royal Youth are. 16, I had Unicorns of Love. I think they're just right there with you, Royal Youth, and we saw that today. And they're just straight out. "'Tis you're going to be sorry." Yeah, Idol. Man, if I swear, man, if Idol is right and Damwon gets third place and they bomb out of play-ins, that would be the. You think Team Liquid beating IG would be the biggest upset in history? That would completely change it. That would absolutely be the most monumentalist choke slash upset we will ever have in League. I don't know if there will be a time where you could have a bigger upset in that scenario, and that would be amazing. I'd lose $450. I might need some extra time to do that. Also update, because of I don't mind saying this, because of the GM strike, if you follow real world news, since my company does a lot of stuff regarding GM, I'm in Detroit area, so it's just all about cars. Laid off, which was a little bit. It sucks, obviously, to be laid. I've been told my position is secured, so I will be able to come back to work eventually. But right now, I had no money. No, I'm fine. I got money backed up, and it should only be a few weeks. But the best case scenario of that was I was laid off last Friday, and I get to watch Worlds live. So I'm okay with it. If like I remember I was telling my coworker, like my one really good friend there, that I was like, this was the best case scenario. If I get I can survive 3 weeks, I won't hurt my budget too badly. I can survive 3 weeks with no work, but I get to watch every single or weekday game of Worlds this year live. I'm totally okay with that. Like, I have to wake up early still, which kind of sucks, but I have to wake up earlier than I do normally for work. But that's it. That's that, and I'm fine with it as long as it ends within 3. If it gets a little more than 3 weeks, then we can start getting dicey. The podcast doesn't pay for my bills. we don't bring in that kind of money, unfortunately. Oh man, but it's all good. It's all good. 17, we have Low-Key. I think that they are another solid team. I put these all into B tier, but I realized that they are not. I was supposed to stop at Gigabyte Marines. These are all my C tier because I put Low-Key as B tier. I'm like, there's no way I put Low-Key as a C tier or B tier. But yeah, I have them at the bottom C tier. I think that pretty solid. I would personally have rather had Team Flash, if I'm going to be honest. I think that Team Flash was a little bit more of a better team, but they didn't win when they needed to win, and you know what? That's kind of what you have to do. Like, you can't just say you're the better team and not prove it in the playoffs, which Low-Key did, and they beat Team Flash 3-1. So I do expect them to compete. They are in by far the weakest group of Group C in the play-ins, and they have a very legitimate shot to make it to groups, or at least to the play-in playoffs, which, if they're the first seed, that's a good shot to make it to groups. That would be really good for them. 18, I have AHQ, who's already actually in groups. So you can put that. I have them as a D tier. They're kind of the weird D tier, where D tier for me was just make it to the play-in playoffs, personally. C tier was make it 2 groups and just look competitive at groups, by the way. So that's what all these 3, I'm going to put these as like a, they're going to be a yellow. We're going to have a light green here. And then we're going to have, I ran out. Dark green and then darker green, I guess. I forgot that I didn't end at A tier. We'll fix that later. But yeah, D tiers are gonna be I don't need colors. We don't need colors. You can figure it out yourself. But yeah, I think AHQ, even though they're D tier, and D tier usually for me means just make it to play-in playoffs, they're obviously in group stage already, so they've already succeeded in their goal for this year, I would say, for AHQ. AHQ is a very weak team. I was very thrilled about them coming into Team Liquid's group. And news since our last podcast, the LMS is merging with the LST. So they are actually the group that Mega, or the play-in wildcard region that Mega plays for, they are actually going to be merging with the LMS, which I think if you've watched our LMS podcast, you've pretty much seen this coming. It's been that region has just been absorbed by China. There is I think I've said it like probably 7 weeks ago, that they're just not. There's like 10 players at max in the LMS that could probably make it to the LPL and succeed, at least on average level teams there. Some of them can succeed, like Betty and Fofo and stuff like that, can succeed at the higher level. I personally believe, but there's some others, like I'd say, like even Hanabi and Rather and Alex. I know Alex is one or like was really high, but I can only see him in a jungling. Jungling for the LMS is much different than jungling for LPL. I'd say. So I'd say he could just perform on average teams as well, personally. But that's where the LMS stands at the moment. We saw this coming. They're gonna be. I wonder if they lose. They should probably lose a seed. They probably shouldn't get 3 seeds anymore, which means that Mega will also lose, or the LST will also lose their seed. So there will be probably 2 seeds up for grabs next World. It'll be very interesting where they go. My idea is maybe have all 3 of the major, because you'll lose the major region as well. So I say have all 4 of the major regions, LPL, LCK, Europe, and America. If you have all 4 of them, and then even say LPL wins Worlds this year with Fun Plus Phoenix, which is what I currently have. We'll have update later on in groups, but for right now, I think Fun Plus Phoenix is by far the best team in the world. But say they win, LPL is the best team. They bring 3 teams, they bring 4 teams then at that point. So I just want this because I want the LPL to bring 4 teams, because like other regions like EU where it's only really Fnatic and G2, NA it's really only C9 and Team Liquid, Korea has quite a few, so you can make an argument there. But like LPL, this would put top in, but your 4th team would go into the wild card region or to the playing games, and then so you'd still have another powerhouse team. So like you'd have 4 groups with LPL, LCK, NA, and EU. All 4 of them are top of the wild card, and then like LMS would get a 2nd seed in the wild card while still getting 1 seed in the groups as well. And then I don't know what you do with the other seed, to be honest. Maybe give Turkey or Russia the 2nd seed, like they've given to Vietnam, depending on how their performance is this year. So maybe you'll have that. But that's for next year. This year, my 19th seed was Mammoth. I am so happy about Mammoth. We talked about it last time. I said that this team is so much better than what OPL has ever sent before, but I didn't expect results. I saw them get Clutch Gaming and Unicorns of Love, and I'm like, God damn, that's like the worst group for them. And then they come out today and they beat Unicorns of Love. Was phenomenal to watch. They almost threw a little bit with King there, but man, I'm so happy they did that because I really wanted this team to perform well. They looked pretty bad against Clutch, to be fair, but I thought they weren't going to win a single game in the group when the groups were released. I think Clutch and Unicorns Love play too fast for them. They're a very slow style team, and they're I'm so shocked that they beat Unicorns of Love. That was a bigger upset to me than Unicorns of Love beating Clutch, if that makes sense. Which technically they're the same. There were two different, or three away. So that they're both near equal level to me in power ranking wise. But I personally give a slight edge to Mammoth just because of playstyle alone. 20 DFM. They looked pretty shaky today. I had them at 20th, but if I was redoing this list today, it would be not 20th. I had Isurus at 21, and then you might be like, oh, William, why, if you have Isurus at 21, why did you have them taking down the team that you have at 14th in Splice and being first in the region? Well, Isurus plays before, they usually play a very fast-paced, not a lot of mistake League of Legends. They play a very solid macro that most wildcard teams do not play, and that just did not show on the stage today. And it makes me worry that it's possibly just the LLA or it was nerves. So we'll be able to find out definitely by Friday, obviously. But if they can come back, they showed a tiny bit of life against Splice, but it wasn't that much. They can come back on Friday and just stomp DFM. Unfortunate. I love DFM, but unfortunately, this was the worst group scenario for them. Splice is just the better version of DFM, and Isurus has a great matchup against Splice and DFM. So if Isurus can come back and stomp DFM, I'll give them another shot at taking down Splice and playing for a tiebreaker game. I don't know how that tiebreaker game would go, but I think they're going to be really a lot more competitive in the second part of the round robin than they were today. Real quick, because we still got a lot to do. HKA, I have dropped all the way down to 22 in F tier. I think this team is the worst major region play-in team we've ever had. I know HKA is actually the only team that lose in the play-ins, but I think they will absolutely do it again. I think they're very mediocre in the LMS, and I think that them getting the 1 seed is a shame. They're lucky that they got the weakest group ever, with Low Key being their second team, which it could have been Royal Youth or Unicorns of Love, which would have just steamrolled them personally. But they got Low Key, so they got the third tier of that. So they got the best case scenario for the second tier, and they got the best case scenario for the third tier, which is a spoiler because I have Flamingo at also on F tier. I'm sorry, all my Brazilian fans, if there are any of you out there. I love their level of feistiness and their confidence. I just really, they got, before this tournament, everyone is bringing their best people. We talked about that at last week. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever last World podcast was. Everyone's bringing their best teams. Flamingo is a damn good team. The best team Brazil's probably ever sent. Unfortunately, Brazil has shown time and time again that they have constantly failed on the international stage. Hopefully for them, this time was going to be different. Then they get Damwon and Royal Youth in their group. They get the best 1 seed and the best 2nd seed in the same damn group. And I was like, but to their credit, they are still very confident, and they think they will be able to take down Damwon and Royal Youth, and more power to them. I always like to root for underdogs, like I say, so if I see Flamingo starting to take a good lead, I am all on the train. I'm a big fan of Flamingo in the CBLOL, except only Uppercut Esports I like better personally, but outside of that, it was all Flamingo. And fortunately for them, they got screwed on this pick, and it's going to be, in my opinion, an 0-4 group for Flamingo. I'm sorry to say it. It's going to be an 0-4 group. I think, from a logical standpoint, my heart wants me to have Damwon in third just for Team Liquid. And apparently Clutch thinks Flamingo is strong. Yeah, I'm not saying Flamingo is. Oh, hi, by the way, Ryan. I don't think Flamingo's weak at all. I know I have him in the F tier in 23rd, but this tournament is stacked. I think HKA is weak for a 1 seed. That's why they get a little bit more negative points for that. Oh, really? They think they're at least as strong as Royal Youth. That I would have to see. I do not believe that, personally. But I would love to see that kind of performance from them. Like, I think Royal Youth is the best team coming in from the wildcard regions. So, I'd be shocked there. But these teams are all, even Mega, who is unfortunately the last place team here, and that's mostly because the LST is a very weird region, and there's not many VODs. I can barely find any VODs on it. So this is the only team that I can say confidently that I did not get to watch many games of. I watched probably 3 or 4 games of them, all split. All the rest of them, I'm like, I got them down. I'm like, okay, I got this game. Easy. But no, Mega is an unknown to me. I know they were there last year. I watched them at MSI. Pretty okay. But it's just the region in general is very weak. And I'm very glad for Mega that the LMS is merging, because now we will get to see I think they can be a top team in the LMS. Like, not top number 1, obviously, but, like, I think they can be a top 3-4 team now that the league is merged, and that they still have a shot for Worlds off of that, but they will be able to constantly improve because they'll be facing so much better competition. Oh, yeah. Ryan just said that Mammoth beat Unicorns. Anything's possible. Absolutely. Like I said earlier, I was so excited because I said do not count out this Mammoth team. Unfortunately, I think this Mammoth team is way better than any Direwolves team because they're the best of all the Direwolves pretty much, and your rookie up top. But man, you have you have Fudge up top, 17-year-old that played off his mind, but he did not look like a 17-year-old today. He played phenomenal, but Mammoth was so legit, but I think they're in a very tough situation with Unicorns of Love and Clutch in their league. I think that they're both I think you saw the weakness of Mammoth in that Clutch game, which I guess we can talk about the games now because that was the pre-Worlds Power Rankings. We'll update them every 2 days so we get a full round of games. So we'll just go into just talking about the games. It won't be too much is like breakdown, I would say. Compared to normal, but I still want to talk about them a little bit. So the first game was, 1 HP. Man, that was bad. But the first game was Unicorns of Love versus Clutch Gaming. We saw the very first Echo Jungle, which is proven to be not so hot. Not so hot as what we were all thinking, including myself. We're thinking this was going to be a pretty good pick. We saw the instant lock in on first pick, Renekton for Clutch Gaming, which is very interesting as they had not played many games of Renekton. I think they only played 2 games, and there was a lot of problems with this from the very get-go. I think that Clutch Gaming had a terrible draft. So by the end of the draft, they picked Neeko. So you're like, okay, Neeko's probably gonna go top. They picked Heimerdinger. You're like, okay, Heimerdinger's gonna go mid. Then they picked Tristana, and you're like, okay, well maybe Tristana can go ADC, but she can also go top. She can also go mid. Oh wait, so Heimerdinger can go bot. He can go mid, probably not top, and then Neeko can go bot or Neeko can go top. So you have all these ranged opponents, which all kind of counter Renekton pretty well. So they were countering him on every single matchup. However, I thought that they still absolutely could have played a little bit more. It felt like Lyra was very uncomfortable on Echo, and I felt like he could have absolutely pulled more ganks into the mid lane. Renekton has 2 dashes. He can get to Tristana and try and stun her. I know she has an escape, but if he can get to Tristana and get a stun on her before she gets her W off, and Echo can get the stun with his like little bubble, it's like bubble shield basically, is what I always think of it. Like, you have enough burst potential. It's Tristana. It's an ADC. She dies instantly when Renekton's on top of her. But yeah, they did not do that. They just let Renekton get bullied completely out of the lane. They let Nomanz, one of the best, if not the best player, I would say the best player on Unicorns of Love with Ananasik, but like just completely take over the game. He was able to just roam. He was able to just constantly push. He was Tristana push with the bombs. He just absolutely took over. You made Damonte irrelevant, as we'll talk about here with total damage. 5.1k, did less than the support Morgana, even though Edward was trying to throw this game back as much as he possibly could to Clutch Gaming. Edward had a very rough game. It was not good, but Inex and Boss and Anasik, they all did fantastic. Huni was way overextending. This was Huni of old, which a Huni of new of old, if that makes sense. Like, we thought we got this out of Huni's system finally, and he wasn't going to just start enting. I had a problem with that. I had more of a problem with the Renekton just doing absolutely nothing and Lyra really not capitalizing. Lyra was trying to his best to cosplay as Jensen. He didn't realize he had an R button on Echo, and that was really frustrating to watch as an NA fan. You're just sitting there like, why aren't you just hit? Not even just a League of Legends fan. Like, you're like, why aren't you hitting R on Echo? Like, you're just getting killed before. Like, I think it was like 3 times he died before he pressed R. Like, it was very pathetic. Vulcan did not add some very shaky engages all around outside of Cody's son. This was a very I just like got really loud there, but this was a very bad game. I thought Cody's son was trying to 1v9 this game, and it looked like it at the towers, like over here. I'm like, oh my god, man, this Cody-san might pull this off. It'd be really interesting if you bench someone like Cody-san for Worlds and played a rookie instead, because Cody-san is damn good, and I will still never forgive 100 Thieves for that. Unless they get Bjergsen in a smoothie, then I'll be totally okay with that. I'll forgive them completely. But yeah, this was a kind of a blowout. I mean, Unicorns of Love showed legit strats, and I was proud of that because, like I said, I have Unicorns of Love at 16 and Clutch at 13. I I was embarrassed on how much of a stomp it was for it should have been, but I would absolutely have given Unicorns 11 about a 40% chance to win this game before draft. I think that, like I said, I think the wild cards are really close right now to the major regions like third seeds, and I think Clutch simply, what's the word I want to say? They got punched in the mouth. I don't think they realized, or they didn't do enough like solid research, or not enough care went into this game. I felt like they just walked in just assuming they were going to get the first seed automatically. It's play-ins, like playing teams never win games, rarely. They very rarely win games, and they got hit right in the face, and they deserved it. I think that the draft was terrible. The play was terrible as well. The draft was really bad, but the draft was still winnable. I mean, I know a lot of people playing the draft, and not me included. I'm playing it right now. I think it was quite poor, but at Clutch's level of talent, you should still easily be able to win. And they played terrible. They just got outperformed on every position, except for ADC, and kind of at ADC as well, but that was pretty equal as well. GG go next. Jet lag. Yep. So let's go next. We had Splyce versus DFM. I know this is gonna sound like I'm gonna sound like a stupid NA analysis, like analyze or analysis. Yep, pretty much. Analyst is the word I'm looking for. So that confirmed that. But this game, 14k gold lead, 26 minutes, 2 plays. 3 plays. 2 to 3 plays. Oh yeah, Vedius was super torn on this game. 3 plays changed this game from a possible DFM win, not confirming, not going to say they were going to win, to an absolute snowball by Splyce. First, Evie, I don't know how to pronounce his name, to be honest. Evie, I think it's Evie. He didn't get the jumble jump on top, and his flash died, and he gave up first blood. And nope, he didn't give up first blood, but he gave up the second kill to Hecarim, which gave Xerxes a snowball. And if he doesn't do that, I believe he's able to save his flash, and he's able not only save his flash, even has to burn it, he still lives, and I think he beats Vizicsacsi in the top lane. Giving that, not good. You completely lost all lane priority there, and that's kind of what you need on Gnar. Second, the Hecarim smite on Gromp, so vital. That went from an instant kill on Xerxes, just an instant kill for Zeros, or for Steel, I should say, and it resulted in Zeros having to go under tower and giving up 3 kills for Splyce, which it got everyone rolling. It got Humanoid rolling, and it got Kave rolling. So those 2 plays were major, and I believe it was was it around here? Yes, it was around here with the Evie had the fantastic Gnar ult, but he didn't get Vizicsacsi at the very edge of it. Vizicsacsi did not get stunned. He got hit into the wall curve, like there's wall and then it curves in. He got hit into there, so there's that open space right there, and he got hit there, and he was able to come back in ult as Kennen and just obliterate them. If that happens, they completely turn that situation around and turn an 8k gold lead to probably a 6k to 5k gold lead with a lot of momentum. And honestly, was the Baron up at that point? Where is this? This is they had 3 kills here, so the Baron would not have been up at the time. Never mind. The Baron would not have been up. Okay, so it would have been more likely if you got a 5-for-1 in that scenario if Vizicsacsi gets hit. But this is what I talk about with a game of inches. Those 3 scenarios all went against DFM, and then they played poorly around that as well. I mean, they made mistakes for that situation as well. Obviously, Evie not making that jump, that's a mistake, and stuff like that. The smite on the Gromp was just a great play by Xerxes, but then obviously the Gnar ult also slight mistake, I guess you can call this a mistake. So it's not like they were just unlucky per se, but they felt like this game would have been so not necessarily a win for DFM, but so much closer if any of those bounced in their favor. It's like that situation where you're up against a really good opponent, and then everything unlucky happens to you at the same time, or maybe in regular sports the refs miss a pass interference, or they like call an interception for football and it actually hit the ground, but then they didn't overrule or something like that, and like it just kills your momentum and your attitude and your mental. And I think that's exactly what happened to DFM in this game. And I'm not gonna say they were gonna win, but this game could have been so much closer, so much closer. And we had Nocturne mid, but according to Vedius, built it wrong. He needs to be building lethality, not whatever he built. he was not a fan of that build at all. Which makes sense. If you're Nocturne mid, you absolutely want to pop someone with the essentially true damage at that point. You're not building really too much damage here. I mean, you got a little bit, but not much at all. Oh boy. Next was Mammoth versus Unicorns of Love, and if you thought like Clutch's game, like Unicorns of Love versus Clutch was good, man, Mammoth showed up on the world stage for real. Fudge, I am stunned. He's very good in the OPL, but he's 17, very young. Like, you have all these other King, Destiny Triple, like you have all these people from Direwolf. They've been the worlds before. They know what they're doing. And you have the 17-year-old that's like, how well is he going to perform on the world stage with this much pressure? And he performed out of his mind. I've never seen such a, I believe it was a Reddit comment, like, I've never seen such a Chad gangplank. Well, like, this gangplank did not care that he was going against Renekton. He did not care. He flashed forward into Renekton and missed him by about 30 HP. If he would have got that kill, that would have been amazing. He still performed phenomenally. 1, 2, and 14 doesn't look like it, but damn, he was just out of his mind, just absorbing so much pressure. It was quite, and it wasn't like a stay back and absorb. He was pressing forward and absorbing, and every time they tried to gank him with this Echo jungle again, it did not work at all. And Babip as well. On Skarner, a lot of those QSSs came in very late. I thought that was very poor by ULL to not get it. Nomad's had a very bad game on the Corki. I believe there was that one time he got hit by the Nautilus hook and then into the Skarner ult without. He had the package on him as well, so he could have easily W'd away, and he did not. And that was actually the fight that should have ended the game, but it didn't. The only issue I had for Mammoth in this game was King. Going forward, when you've killed 3 people and have given up 0 kills, you just go straight for Baron, man. You go straight for Baron. Instead of that, he walked up to mid lane, tried to kill Nomans, which I saw. He would have killed them, but Inex still had his heal. Was able to heal him just in time, and then they were able to kill King pretty much right away. So. Yeah. Ryan just said you should always try to file your taxes early before the Skarner IRS comes for you. Absolutely. It's the same as Malzahar. Like, you're like, oh, this isn't my bill. Get your first item, get your boots, and if he's ahead, get the QSS right after your first item. If they are ahead at any moment, they're just going to snowball off of that. So, like, you get the QSS, you pay your tax. Pay it early, you get your refund, you get your money, you can get more gold by not dying as much and your team not dying as much. It's a plus gold value. It's like a return on investment right there if you think about it in that sense. Like, you get hit by 2 Skarner ults before you buy that. If you would have had that, you wouldn't have died, you would have been able to farm, maybe get a kill or 2, you make all your money back on it. It's totally fine. And they did not do that. But King absolutely redeemed himself. Right after that, they did take Baron, and then on the second Baron, oh man, that was it the second Baron or was it the first Baron? No, they never even took the second Baron. The second Baron was amazing though. I'm gonna see. I have it clipped. We haven't done a clip in forever, guys. This is I'm gonna try and find this. I clipped it today, and if I can find it really quick, I will show it. Where they just had a phenomenal bait. Let's just say that. Yep, I have it here. Let's go like this and pull it up here. And here we go. Nope. I have Twitch muted, so it's on mute. And then
as well, or 3.5. Now Mammoth have started up the Baron. Boss is down towards the bottom side.
I thought he was an idiot right there for hitting those wards like
so
that.
That revealed him temporarily, and you all know they're on this Baron.
Here we go. Baron being started.
Instantly got bossed because they baited it and just instant popped every single one of them because of that. It took Renekton out of the fight. Alistar way too far pushed up. the rest of the team fight just over after your two tanks are gone. You don't have anything else. Echo died immediately because Echo sucks. But yeah, I clipped that. I thought that was. But tell me what you think. Me and Brian was discussing this. What was that intentional or was that adapting on the fly? Brian said it was 100% adapting on the fly. I want to give King credit that it wasn't, but I can definitely see where Brian's coming from, where basically King came in, went to Auto Baron, missed it, hit the wards, and they were like, "You idiot, what are you doing? Oh my god, they're teleporting. We could just go to the teleport, So I'm wondering if that's the case. I want to believe, and because we have no proof, I'm going to believe King, they did that absolutely intentionally, and it was a huge bait, and it won them the game against Unicorns a lot. I'll give them credit. You can't give these teams, I mean, they don't get too much credit in Worlds, so you got to give them something, you know? Man, that was great. I was so, that play was amazing. I was blown away. Yes. Ryan is on Brian's side where he said, I think they 100% know they fucked up, but it was an amazingly on point pivot. Yes. Yeah, deep down I know that, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it out loud. Deep down I know. We all kind of know. Game number 3 was DFM versus ISG, and if you've ever had unfortunately we don't have a gold graph here, but the first 20 minutes is me sitting here like I had already messaged to Idol before game started. I'm like, Isurus is going to take first in Group B, by the way. Spicy pick. Spicy little info for you there. A little bold prediction. And he's like, "Whoa, wow, really?" And I'm like, yeah, that's going to happen. About 20 minutes in this game where they're just doing nothing against a Kayle. Like, it was like 1-1 for the first 20 minutes. I'm like, can I take this back? Isurus is supposed to be a very fast team, but they're not playing fast. What are they doing? You see all particles and bird stop, which means they all turned out once. Yes, yep. You can. I did notice that. But yeah, so I was just like, oh man, what are you doing? And then somehow, level like 12 to 13 Kayle was more effective than level 16 and 18 Kayle. When Kayle got the true damage, all of a sudden DFM, DFM is a slow team and they play slow. They played the Karma mid. Zeros with I should have clipped that. Zeros' little maneuver down bot lane. Look it up on Reddit. I don't have a clip of it, unfortunately, but it's let's pull it up. we're gonna steal content from Reddit. I'm sorry. I'm sure no one's ever done this before on stream in the history of streams. No one ever steals content. Here we go.
Game is felt.
2 clips a week. Look how fancy we're getting for Worlds. But Zeros with probably if this was, I think someone's comment on Reddit was, if this was Faker or Caps or something, this is Gilded, top of the subreddit, known for years after this, that like as a highlight play. That's how good of a play it was. Now let's watch it.
Big. The lanes are kind of just isolated, no roaming between the two, but Isurus, soon as that hit the 13-minute mark, still looking for the return dive. No cast, but Oddi's in.
Coming down. The quickness was there, but it is not enough. Zeros now is going to be the dessert. Can they actually grab it? Slow's going to go down for the good
3,
of the colony.
4,
And Saiyan misses the cue. Oh,
5.
That was a disaster. Zeros with the outplay under the Avatar of bottom lane.
6.
Fadeaway jump shot barrel is not going to
7.
be enough, and the Mystic shot goes wide.
7 dodge skill shots right there at the very end. All of them probably would have killed. That is some insane fancy feat. We'll just watch the last part of the clip one more time, because it is, the fancy feat here is insane.
It's going to be the dessert. Can they actually grab it? Slow's going to go down
just,
for the good of the colony.
Oh my god.
Misses the cue. Oh no, it's a disaster. Zeros with the outplay under the Avatar of bottom lane, and the fadeaway jump shot barrel is not going to be enough, and the Mystic
so
shot
good. Such a good play. Man, fantastic. Zeros is amazing on DFM. He's my favorite Japanese player, like by far. And it was a shame that they lost, and now they're 0-2, and they're probably they're in deep trouble, which I knew coming into the group. I predicted them go 0-4, personally. Yep. Ryan, look at the plays, look at the moves. Zeros, what was that? Exactly. That was it was clean. And that's a highlight that he gets to take home because unfortunately for DFM, this was probably their best shot to win. Isurus looks super nervous coming on stage. I don't think they'll look that nervous on Friday. I think they'll get those nerves out of their system and they'll probably crush DFM, unfortunately. Once this group, when DFM was still available and group B and C were, I saw C with HKA and low key, and I see Isurus and Splice. I'm like, please DFM, please. Because again, I guess I'm not as big a fanboy as Vidius with DFM, but I'm still me and Brian both are pretty big DFM fanboys. And they're just nice people. Like, I don't know how to explain it. They're nice people. You always want to root for the young underdog. It's just I don't know how to explain it. You just always want to root for them. I feel like they're just they're a fun team to root for. But if they can't win a late game with a level 18 Kale on one of your best players, on your second best player, I'd say, then you're not gonna win this game. Not to say this game was good. Bugax needs to really work on those Gnar ults. I think he missed 3 or 4 of them. Adi missed about 3 or 4. It looked like Sphinx Garen out there with the Gragas. He missed 3 or 4 ults. And yeah, it was an ugly game. This was probably the worst game of the day, personally. But at the end of the day, an ugly game still counts just as much as a perfect game in these wins. And when you only have 4 games to prove yourself, you need every win you can. Late game Kale did get nerfed. You are correct, but it did nothing, right? it got nerfed, but it's supposed to do more than what it did. It did absolutely nothing. He got immediately poked out. Like he would auto Gnar, and the Gnar was very tanky. That was very smart by Bugax to get tank items. So even small Gnar was tanky. But then he would just auto him, get him half health, and then they just CC him and he'd instant die every time. He was frontlining. He shouldn't have been frontlining. Oh, yeah, also goes to show if you index too much on late game, you deserve to lose. Welcome to every game me and my friends play. Oh, fuck, Solo Killing Karma, get that out of here. Yeah, and they did. Clutch, very familiar with Solo Lane Karma, as even though Zeros had I let Zeros pass on that Solo Lane Karma just for that amazing play on the bot lane that we get to witness. But Fudge's Karma, oh, I hated this pick. I could not stand this pick when it came out. I'm like, Mammoth, what are you doing? You have your guy who was on Gangplank, very good. Who's not banned? Gangplank. Pick it again. Gangplank is so safe, but even when he's not safe in Fudge's hands, he's aggressive. And he played it so clean, and you pick Karma instead for the man? Unbelievable. But Bip also had a very, very bad game on the Nocturne. Didn't do much. Lyra they finally picked the Elise instead of the Echo, which Spawn was saying he just thinks Elise is just better Echo. Like completely better Echo on the ganks. AP jungler, AP assassin jungler with the ganks. I want to see Tank Echo personally. I think that the issue is all these AP Echoes are going frontline and jumping in and then just immediately getting popped. I think Tank Echo can do much better in these scenarios that the junglers are trying to put him in. I don't think Echo's dead like some people do. I think even though he's 0-4, I think that he will still be a presence, and I think if we see him on some better teams, they will play around him much better than what we saw today. Cody Stone on Sivir is always gross. It's just Sivir gameplay is Sivir gameplay. 356 farm. It's just, I'm so sad that Echo and Nocturne went winless. I like both champions. Yeah, they're both very exciting champions. I think that Nocturne buff, we'll see more of him. I don't think we'll see him mid lane anymore, even though Jat said there's a possibility. I doubt that completely. I think that there's just much better. You can just pick Kiana or anything else is probably better than Nocturne mid, personally. But the jungle Nocturne I see is very strong. Though I see the perks of Nocturne mid for sure. With being able to ult, you can contest any scuttle with your jungler. Anytime you're contesting scuttle, you can just instantly go to the scuttle and be there in 0.1 seconds, where the enemy jungler is blind and then has to try and figure out if you're going in on them. So they're initially going to back up because they're going to think you're going on them, and then that brief moment where they're backing up and stuff. I think that's a very good combo that wasn't used a lot in the DFM game. I think you can get a lot of kills there with Nocturne and either a CC or like a Sejuani or Gragas or something with AP damage or just strong damage. But yeah, Clutch kind of crushed Mammoth. This is what I expected to happen in this group because Mammoth is a very slow team. They are a good team, and I think they're really, really good players. My issue is that they needed someone in the group that was going to make a lot of mistakes. Granted, Clutch Gaming made a lot of mistakes in their first game, so you're like, oh, there you go. A little bit lower level. I think that Mammoth is kind of like DFM, where they play and wait for people to make mistakes, kind of like TSM if you for NA. They wait for others to make mistakes, and then they capitalize on those mistakes. Unfortunately, that style of league is kind of getting outdated because teams are getting better every day. You have to be the one on the aggressive. Like, teams are not making mistakes all the time. They're still making, let me take that back. Teams are still making a lot of mistakes, but they're making mistakes in an aggressive setting. And if you're caught off guard by that, you can just get snowballed on, which is exactly what happened to Mammoth here. But, Mammoth did steal the Baron. 1 HP Baron steal. That was crazy. That's the first time I've ever seen a 1 HP Baron steal. Let's be honest, Lyra with a pretty damn bad smite for a professional jungler. Looks like me out there trying to smite. It was about 200 HP left. Like, you've miscalculated by about 200 HP, dude. Which, if you listened to us last year, like almost a whole year ago, Lyra's always been known for not some great smites. He's gotten a lot of Barons and Dragonstone from him. Granted, that was last year. This year he's been much better at it. He has not lost nearly as many, but it's always in the back of my mind seeing that. Oh, man. But yeah, outside of that Baron steal, oh, no. It was possibly predicting Orianna, but it was like a 200 early smite. Usually you want the smite to execute. I guess there are scenarios. I don't want to. The Baron, unlucky. If Clutch lost this game, I'm not flaming them, mostly because my voice kind of hurts right now, and I don't want to get too much dived into this. If they lost this game, I wouldn't flame them for the Baron. That happens. 1 HP, like you said, like unlucky. Infernal was inexcusable, completely inexcusable to lose this Infernal. You have a Karma who's building a little bit of AP. It looked like a Ronda. Not that big a deal. Nocturne, all damage. Azir, late game damage. Kai'Sa, super late game damage on AP and AD. Infernal's best case scenario for them. If Mammoth drags out, you got that. And unfortunately, they gave away a free Infernal for no reason. They had vision of it. Everything was good. And they just let them take the Infernal for no reason. I think it was because they were nervous because of all the throws they made against Unicorns of Love, and they wanted to go by the book and slow. But man, that I was about to throw like them under the bus. If they lost that Infernal, then they lost that Baron. If this game delays for like an extra 20 minutes or so, like 15 minutes or so, let's say, yeah. No, hell, it's already a 39-minute game. Let's say just 10 minutes, flat out. It goes to a 50-minute game. Kai'Sa, full build, 1 item off. Azir, 2 items off in 10 minutes would give full build. You've given them an extra. What's first Infernal? 10 or 15% AD or something like that? Is it 8%? I don't remember. I don't remember off the top of my head actually. I should probably know that. But yeah, you're giving them an extra 10%. Let's just say 10 for easy numbers. If Azir has 600 AP. He's giving him an extra 60 AP on all of his autos. Also, Kai'Sa, same thing. Oh, I mean, yeah. You had those buff like Ryan said. I don't know. Azir and Kai'Sa are big late game, but you had Triss, Sivir, and buffed Ori. Those were very strong, but just giving up an Infernal for free like that, I thought was unacceptable in the way the map was positioned. You had all control of the map. You had Baron buff. You had a 8k gold lead. Like, there should be no way you're giving Mammoth even a shot in this game. You should be closing them out. You should be stepping on this is Worlds. Can't be making dumb mistakes like that. You cannot make dumb mistakes at Worlds. I know, as a Team Liquid fan last year, they made some dumb mistakes. And they got caught and they died very early in the bot lane, and that cost them complete momentum. You can't. No mistakes at Worlds. Mistakes are punished, and they're lucky this one. They got away with this one. They had the late game. They had luckily had Huni fed enough on the Tristana. How much damage did Huni do? Yeah, 18k damage compared to 9k. It's the second highest in the game. Huni was fed enough on the Tristana that it didn't matter, luckily for them. But that's why I didn't want to talk about it too much, but there was something there that I did. Oh, cool. I guess we'll try one more time with the match history, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Hey, there we go. Splyce versus Isurus Gaming. Splyce kind of blew him out. This was right here was the only moment Isurus really had a shot. They got that good pick. This can I get a? I wish I could get a third clip. You put Bugix on Gangplank. He's like right here. He survives like a whole minute with with Xerxes, Vizichase, and North Garen all on top of him, just CCing him, like knocking him in the air, stun, like into the Jarvan pit, and he's just alive for the whole time. Like he got a grasp proc, I believe. Did he have grasp? I believe he got a grasp proc, and he got a orange to eat, and then he just casually walks away. Because while this was happening, Kai'Sa and LeBlanc, or Xayah and LeBlanc, got caught out in the mid lane. And you're like, oh, there's our damage. Like, wait a minute, you just lost our mid and our ADC. Why not we go to the Baron pit now? And then at the Baron pit, Adi, by the way, this game, one of the worst Lee Sin performances I've seen from him. I was very disappointed with Adi in this game. I think he really let the team down. Got a bone pick with slow. I don't have the clip of this. But Vizichase teleports in here. It's a 3v5. Humanoid and Copy are not in this fight whatsoever. Sorry, I just hit the mic. Not in this fight whatsoever. Start bursting down the Baron. It's about halfway. That's when Vizichase starts just autoing your Kai'Sa for free. And Slow goes to walk up to him to get to him. Throw your damn hook. You are Nautilus. He goes from like here in the pit, walks up, Gnar obviously kites back because he doesn't want to get hooked, which I'm assuming he thought the hook was coming, or auto-attacked by Nautilus for the root, and then he walks over here, and Nautilus walks back and then hooks the wall. Like, in the second he hooks the wall, that is instant engage for Xerxes and North Garen, who both jump in. Gnar pops his ult, like his rage bar is full. He gets an ultimate. He knocks his ult into there, and it's all of a sudden it's a wipe. It was a 3 kills for Isurus or for Splyce, and then they took the Baron. And then once they took the Baron, the game immediately skyrocketed from there and ended the game. It just snowballed from there. I was so mad. I was so mad at Slow here. This was a huge turning point. Those two picks you can get. At that point, he was only a 4k gold lead. You get a Baron. You reestablish. You reset the map. You're at that point, you'd be at about 2.5 gold difference. At 26 minutes, that's not that big a deal. You have the scaling of Gangplank and Kai'Sa. They have good scaling on Splyce as well. And Splyce, 35 minutes. But you were giving yourself a shot. You let that down by trying the auto attack and not just throwing your damn hook at Vizichase. You just let him free fire on your ADC. You're at Nautilus. You could tank up. You would have had Aftershock. You would have had your W. You could have had your hook. You could have CC'd them. And then even if you CC Vizichase and they engage on you, well then Splyce is using possibly their Rakan and Jarvan ult on just you because your teammates were over here while you would have hooked them like right here. Your teammates were like right here. So they use it on you, and all of a sudden your teammates can free fire on them and win the fight. That's all I'm going to say. Was upset with that, and I expected a lot more from Isurus today. I'm hoping I get that from them Friday. If not, I'm very salty because that was my bold prediction. I didn't think it was going to be that bold. It was a little bold standing-wise, but I thought they matched up very well against Splyce, which they did not show that today. Ugh. Woo. Okay. Let's talk day 2. I'm just sitting here waiting for Blitz support to come out. Maybe just me. I like him over not support right now. Not nearly as non-committal a hook. Doesn't force an all in. And he can still proc Aftershock super easy. Absolutely 5,000% agree with you. As someone who's been playing League recently since, laid off. I don't have anything to do. My friends. Yeah. Blitz is my favorite. I love playing Kai'Sa. I'm not amazing with Kai'Sa. I'm okay. I'm okay. I've actually gotten a lot better with Kai'Sa by watching pro play. I am a lot more aggressive. I would usually only use my ult in defensive maneuvers. When someone would come on me, I would just teleport away from them, or like try and like hit them and just get the shield, basically. But now I use that thing. I go in on the back lines all the time. I don't care. I'm very aggressive now, which I like. It's a lot more fun to play that way as well. But anyway, long story short, I used to always love Nautilus for it. Love Blitzcrank now because he pulls, he brings them to you, knock up, W, boom, they're dead. Blitz also does more damage than Nautilus, in my opinion. Early game. No! Nautilus does more damage, but I don't know. I just think Blitz, like you said, it's so much less of a non-committal hook. You miss it, you miss it. You don't go in. You don't hit the wall and you go in. You don't hit them. You hit them with the hook. They get pulled away from their teammate instead of them being close to their teammate still. And you're close where you can get CC'd. Like, the hook is so far that you could hit someone from... We'll show it in match history here. If someone's at their tower right here, at the very edge, you can hit them from the bush now. We've learned that, and it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It's one of my. If it's not Yuumi, which I also just played Yuumi Garen for the first time in my life yesterday, and that was the most free elo, or it wasn't elo because it was a normal game. That was the most free wins I've ever had in my life, and I totally understand why Europe does it. That was so much fun. That was so easy. Like once you get out of that, actually we were dominating early for some because we were playing 5-man, so we just like they weren't warding because this is like silver elo with my friends, but this like silver goldish elo, and like we just had our jungler come down, and then we just like boom, Garen flash silence, so then jungler CC'd them and just instant killed them. So we actually got ahead really early. I haven't known how it, but I could see the struggles early. But once you get like level 9 and you get that max Q, like you just silence, flash, the Yuumi damage with the root and spin ult, it's free kills. It's free kills. Also, by the way, Zazlo spamming him in solo queue and getting a lot of free wins, a lot of wins. I'm assuming you mean Blitzcrank for that, but yeah, I absolutely think that Blitzcrank is going to be a contested pick at Worlds this year. It is so strong in solo queue, so strong. Okay, predictions for day 2. Let's see. Number 1, Damwon Gaming versus Royal Youth. Garen plus Yuumi with the T mid is nasty in mid game. Oh yeah, it's just I can absolutely see that. We didn't even need that. We'll just I'll show you. Well, unfortunately, I think that Royal Youth is kind of screwed. I thought that they had a legitimate shot to get first place in their group this year, especially if they got like something like HKA. Here you go. By the way, this was our game. These were our 2 games. We also played a Mundo bot lane. That was fun. Swain bot lane is now challenged by Garen for my favorite bot lane was Yuumi. My cousin, basically. He only played Yuumi. And don't look at that win rate on Xayah. Or Kai'Sa, don't look at that. But yeah, this was all bot lane. And these Garen games were phenomenal. They were so much fun. Yeah, the Yuumi nerfs are super massive, but like it was still a lot of fun to play those. Yeah. Anyway, predictions. Let's go with Damwon Gaming. Unfortunate. I am sorry, Idol. Even though you want to believe Damwon's gonna get last, and I kind of want to believe it as well. Garen plus Swain. No, that's. I can't play that with my cousin because he can only play Yuumi. So when he gets banned, we're in big trouble. But as the game after that with the Caitlyn, we won, but he went 0-7 in lane as Soraka. But he is since Yumi's come out, he's forgot how to dodge. Let's just say that he's forgot that he has to move a character. No flame. But yeah, I'm Garen Swain. Interesting. I got beat by a Pantheon Xin Zhao the other day, and I really want to try that. Pantheon auto point and click stuns you. Xin Zhao instant point and clicks dashes to you. Hail of Blades, knock, knocks you up in the air, and you're dead. It was brutal. It was a very painful lane. We won that game because they fell off, and we just delayed long enough to late game, but goddamn, that was a very painful laning phase. Anyway, Damwon Gaming, for as much as I like Royal Youth, I don't think they can stand a chance against Damwon. I think Showmaker, again, in the mid lane is just... I mean, you have Showmaker. Sile is the weakest point for Royal Youth, by far, in my opinion. very weak in the mid lane. Personally, both of their solo lanes are the weak point. Jungler, I like Closer as a jungler. Pilot is phenomenal ADC, and I can't wait to see them. I think he can actually hold his own against Nuclear and Barrel down there in the bot lane. It'll be quite interesting to see. But the issue is, yeah, Pilot is amazing. I know he's from Jin. I know. Don't get me started. But damn. Nogri and Showmaker. Jin lives through him. I love Pilot. He was phenomenal in the Turkish League. But you can't, if your solo lanes are weak and you're going against Showmaker and Nogri, I can't pick it. I can't pick it. Those are the two best solo laners to ever play in play-ins probably of all time. And that's what they're just going to have to deal with, and I don't think they'll be able to deal with that very well. I think HKA will be able to take down Mega in game number 2. I know I flamed HKA pretty hard by dropping them all the way to, 22nd place. There's only 2 teams I have worse than them. Unfortunately, lucky for them, even though they're a 1 seed, only 2 teams in this tournament I think are worse than HKA. It's Flamingo, and that's barely, and it's Mega, who I don't have enough info on. So, lucky for HKA, they got Mega on their team, and they got the worst B seed as well, low-key, or in their region, I should say, or their playing group. So, HKA, lucky for them, they get away with this. I was so looking forward to put HKA as a 3rd place finish here. Slowgree and Slowmaker, no match for Turkey. Hell, let me tell you, as a team, I know I have $450 on the line. If Damwon can just not make it out of groups or plans, I'm okay losing that money just because that means Team Liquid almost should guarantee a spot out of play or group stage. Like, the issue is Damwon putting them into that group makes their group just as hard as Group A. I think if Damwon goes to Group D, that group is just as hard as Group A, and then you have Group C obviously being the hardest, and then Group B being free. Absolutely. Whew. But yeah, HKA going to be over Mega. Man, damn, we've done over an hour. I love Worlds. Yay. We talk a lot. There's so much to talk about. It's like you have all the podcasts into one. It's so nice. I can talk about multiple teams without feeling guilty. Because sometimes when I'm talking like, I'm doing an LMS podcast and we're talking LCK just because something big happened that day, I feel guilty because I'm like, no, this is supposed to be the LMS podcast. We're getting distracted. But at Worlds, everyone's here, so you can't get distracted by any other team. And before Royal Youth goes to D and Pilot crushes Doublelift, if Royal Youth goes to D, they're getting 3rd place. AHQ's getting last place. I think that no matter what, personally. But, yeah, for sure. They will be more competitive against Team Liquid and IG than HQ. You can write that down. Turkish Jin gets out of groups. Oof. That would be the biggest karma to me for rooting for Jin to get eliminated. If my team gets eliminated by Turkish Jin. Game number 3, Damwon versus Flamingo. I know Flamingo fans are like, we could take down Damwon. I love it. BRT, great player, great team. Flamingo, best team Brazil sent in a while. You got screwed. I'm sorry, you got screwed, and you're going 0-4. And unless I see something different, Damwon's beating you, and Royal Youth are beating you as well. Mega versus low-key. Gotta go low-key. I don't know enough about Mega. I don't think Mega is strong enough. If the only team I don't know enough about, and I think that low-key's a strong enough 2-seed. Even though they're weakest 2-seed, I think they're better than the weakest 3-seed. That makes sense, right? I just said Royal Youth over Flamingo. I like Flamingo's attitude. I'm kind of worried because Clutch is saying Flamingo's just as good as Royal Youth in scrims. But again, I think that also might be because Flamingo is very aggressive. And in scrims, more aggressive teams tend to win, I think, more so often because once you snowball, you snowball. Yeah, the Brazilians would lose their shit, absolutely. If they go 0-4, if they get out. Or both. But I really think that they got so unfortunately screwed. Brazil finally sends their best team. That they've always had an upset in the finals, and it's like, well, we're not sending our best team, and now they look bad on the world stage. And unfortunately, we lose the game because of that. Or we lose our games and we look like an embarrassment. And like they have a lot of passion there. You see it. They finally send their best team. They get the best team that ever hit play-ins, and probably the best wild card team to ever hit play-ins, in my opinion. And that is quite unfortunate. TSM was apparently smashing scrims at Worlds in 2016, 2017. Yeah, and look how well that worked for them. Yep, exactly. Can't take too much into scrims, I don't think. Unless you're getting absolutely bombarded, then usually because I think you get more tilted from that. But as long as you're playing average, if you're playing good or average, it doesn't matter. I think it's all the same at that point. Unless you're losing every scrim, that's the only time I see a problem with it, because then you don't know how to capitalize on a lead if you never have a lead. And I think that's one of the most important things in League of Legends that a lot of teams fail at. And I mean, a damn lot of teams fail at it, is capitalizing. If they have a 2 to 3K gold lead, they always just kind of sit back and not always, but a lot of teams sit back and let the other teams catch up. So if you don't have that practice in scrims, you're not going to get on the live stage. Whew, to wrap this up before I lose my voice. If you could tell, my voice is starting to crack a little bit. And I don't have any water. But HKA versus Low-Key. I picked Low-Key to win this group. I absolutely think... Oh, by the way, I had in my groups real quick were CG, ULL, Mammoth, Isurus, Splice, DFM, Low-Key, HKA, Mega, and then Damwon, Royal Youth, and Flamingo. Yep, those were my group predictions before. I'm still got to stick with it. I remember. I think it was Hong Kong Attitude Coach 2 years ago posted a tweet about their great scrims with a bunch of top teams right before they got knocked out in play-ins. Yep, absolutely. I think that the scrims are so much different than the stage. So much more pressure on the stage and so much less snowball on the stage. But yeah, I have Low-Key beating HKA. I think HKA is insanely lucky. I think that while we have Damwon, the best team that we've ever seen in play-ins, my personal opinion, I think HKA is the worst team we've ever seen in play-ins, including 2017's HKA or 2016 HKA that got eliminated in play-ins. I think this team's even worse than that. So, unfortunately for them, I think that they are going to get second place in this bracket, and I think that is, if they get second, I think they are out. If they get first, I think they're out. I think they're out in the play-in playoffs either way to Unicorns of Love or Royal Youth, depending if one of those two get them. However, if Isurus Gaming get them, I think they can actually take down Isurus, or because of the playstyle matchup. But anyway, that will be the podcast. Almost an hour and 15 minutes. Let's go. What a good podcast. I'm always happy when we get to extend one like this but that's all thanks to you, Idol, and Ryan. Thank you both very much. All that discussion, helps out, and it extends the podcast, and it brings more interesting conversation than me just reading off of what I think. But anyway, thank you guys for coming to watch. We will be back tomorrow. I will say, I do have a Smash tournament again, like the one in February. I'm going to another Smash tournament this weekend, actually staying at the same hotel. So I won't have a podcast on Friday or Saturday. I will have one Sunday unless I have to go back to work on Monday. If I have to go back to work on Monday, then I won't have one Sunday either because I'll be coming home at like midnight. But if that's the case, I will be making my predictions for all the other group or playing games tomorrow. Ganondorf or Buzz. I'm not playing in the tournament. I played last time and I just got crushed. And I was too nerve-wracking. I'm really, really bad at fighting games. I have to just let that be known. I can barely beat computers at level 9, level bad. But my brother's going in. He's playing Pit. He doesn't have any pros in his original bracket, so he's hoping he can get a little farther. He's actually playing against only like 2 people that have ever been to Smash tournaments before, so that will be nice. Anyway, thank you guys for coming to watch. We'll talk about tomorrow. We'll talk about the games from tomorrow on tomorrow's podcast, and then we'll make the predictions for the final 2 days of groups, which is good because we'll be able to see how both teams are playing, or all the teams are playing. So it won't really matter too much in that sense. And then hopefully, if I'm not working on Sunday, we'll discuss all 12 games, discuss what's going to move on, and then our predictions for the what's it called? The play-in playoffs. But yeah, good night, guys. See you tomorrow.